Regardless of what you drive, definitely go out, have some fun, build some power, and go out and hurt some feelings. Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. Thank you for hanging out, spending a few moments here with me. If this is the first time that you're checking out a video, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. Now today what we're going to do is talk about the 392, and it has developed a reputation for not being mod friendly. And we're going to go over a couple of reasons why, and why I kind of disagree with that. Now the first reason why many people say that the 392 is not mod friendly is because many bolt-ons that go onto a 392 is not going to net you too much horsepower. So when you jump on the dyno, if you get yourself a larger throttle body, cold air intake, long tube headers, maybe a catback exhaust, the dyno isn't going to really be too favorable for the amount of money that you're going to be spending to put that piece in place. Whereas in the 5.7, you know, coming out of factory, it's really not a performance-minded Hemi, so every bolt-on is going to net you better performance gains. Now, you will notice a difference if you were a full bolt-on 392 and you went up against a stock 392. Your acceleration rate is going to be better, and what little horsepower you do pick up is going to be noticeable because you'll probably gain throughout the entire RPM range. And I know this because I know a lot of 392s that have done bolt-ons. I know a lot of 392s that have modded and jumped on a dyno, and I get the opportunity to see a lot of these builds happen. Now, the other reason why the 392 gets a bad reputation is because many people get some kind of a centrifugal force blower. They get a turbo or something, and what ends up happening is they run too much forced air into the manifold, and either the pistons get busted or the manifold starts melting, and really you have to be realistic with forced air. You get yourself 6-7 pounds of boost, and you'll likely gain between 160 to 200 wheel horsepower, which is very substantial. If you jumped on a dyno with a stock 392, you're probably in the ballpark of about 425 wheel horsepower, depending on what dyno you have and the settings and everything. So take that for what it is. But the larger displacement of the 392 with the higher compression and the pieces in place, it essentially has those exhaust manifolds are basically mid-length or shorty headers. So really all you need to do is just bolt on 5-6 pounds of boost, and because of the pieces that are in place, the displacement, it doesn't need that much forced air in order to make a significant jump in horsepower. So those are really the two reasons why many people are under the impression that the 392 is not a good engine to modify. And from a person that has seen 392s with cams in them, I've seen a cam 392 with long tube headers jump up on the dyno and be close to, they're in the 485 to 500 wheel horsepower with those two pieces in place. And again, with the forced air, 6-7 pounds of boost, you're looking at 600 plus wheel horsepower with one modification, and that's forced air. With that in place, you're nipping Hellcats in the tush. If you don't get carried away with these modifications in the 392, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. Now, one thing that should be noted is that the 392 does have a very high compression. I believe it's 10.9, whereas in the 5.7 is at a 10.5, and the 6.1 I believe is at a 10.3. So the 6.1 and the 5.7 do have lower compression, which is a little bit better for forced air. But you know, if I had a 392, I think I would probably go the naturally aspirated route. I'd get myself a cam, long tube headers, you know, get myself to that 500 wheel horsepower range, potentially get a stroker kit. You could probably scratch in a 426 or a 430 in there and gain another 50 wheel horsepower. You know, you're looking at 550 wheel horsepower, which would put you over the 600 horsepower range to the crank. So certainly plenty to play with. And there's, you know, the 392 is a monster, guys. It's just, you know, the little dinky bolt-ons are really not going to net you a ton until you put, you know, the big pieces in place, like a cam, forced air, you know, that kind of stuff. So stroker kit. So really, I just wanted to clarify that, because I keep going to other channels, and you know, when it's a Scatpack owner, it seems like, you know, everybody's saying, you know, go get a Hellcat, because the Scatpack, you can't modify it, and it's just not the case. I've seen really awesome builds with 392s as a starting point, and these guys make some really good power. It's just, you got to make sure you're putting the right pieces in place and the right tuning. So all right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Definitely interested to hear what you guys have to say. Regardless of what you drive, definitely go out, have some fun, build some power, and go out and hurt some feelings. All right, guys, I'll check you on the next upload.
I said